Hi friends, welcome to my channel. So today we are going to discuss about uh, a topic on the Linux. Why Linux is a knowledge which is essential for DevOps or Kubernetes. Okay, so as you know, we are exploring so many tools, so many techniques, and so much of cloud services, different types of services and tools, right? So the backbone of this complete modern IT infrastructure is Linux only, especially in cloud computing, DevOps, and Kubernetes. So while just take it as an example, like while tools like Terraform, Jenkins, Docker, and Kubernetes makes DevOps workflows more efficient, and they all operate seamlessly on Linux. Will you agree? If you are stepping into world of DevOps or Kubernetes, a solid understanding of Linux is really required and which is a non-negotiable. Okay, let's discuss about the importance of Linux in this video. Okay, and if you didn't subscribe to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. And if you like this video, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. So let's jump into it. So first of all, let's introduce, as I said, like Linux is your backbone of the modern IT infrastructure, which is includes on-prem, cloud computing, and DevOps. And modern really upcoming tools like Kubernetes and very popular tools like Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes, everything is seamlessly operating by using Linux. Okay, so that is the core of the any tool which you take. For an example, Jenkins or Kubernetes. Okay, and the next thing I want to explain about is like the deep understanding of this Linux is very important in the coming future of the DevOps. Okay, let's go in deep and understand what about the Linux and all the stuff in my video. Don't skip it. Please watch it till end of my video. So first of all, understanding the operating system. That means in the DevOps ecosystem, 90% of the servers run Linux, whether it is a local development mission or a production server or any cloud instance. Having a deep understanding of how Linux works will really help you. That means if you navigate through the local Linux file systems or you can manage your processes. Okay, that means you have to go to that Linux boxes and you need to understand what is the OS running inside that and which OS we are on, which version we are using it, what are the permissions we have it for that user management. So these are all, it's very good for you to understand what is the operating system our applications is going to be running, either it is in the local development mission or it is in the production server. So just for example, imagine you are deploying a Kubernetes cluster. The cluster nodes are typically Linux nodes. That means if any node fails due to resource exhaustion, you need to check the logs, right? What happened to it? And you need to monitor the process by running top command, and you need to check the logs in the slash var lag and free space and memory. You need to check so many things in the Linux, right? So without this Linux knowledge, troubleshooting become impossible. Okay. And then command line proficiency. That is really a important stuff. If you are expert on handling the command line proficiency in Linux, you are you are the expert and you can able to handle any tool, irrespective of namings. You can handle any tool. Most of the DevOps talks in recent words rely heavily on the command line only. Whether you are SSHing into server, managing Docker containers, or applying Kubernetes manifest, the command line is your go-to. So knowing the basics and advanced Linux commands ensures you can automate the task using the shell scripts, or you can search using a grep command, AWK command, SCD commands, and you can schedule jobs through your cron. So these are all will give you a strong support for you to do anything on your tools. For example, if you are automating the deployment of a Flask application, Python Flask application using Kubernetes, if something breaks, you might need to use kubectl logs to debug that one. Additionally, you might use tile command of the application logs to what is there to identify the issue, right? So that gives you a proficiency in your command line. Okay, that is the live example for it. Next one is the network fundamentals. So network part is really core important in the Linux world. As I said, how you will be proficient on the command line, and at the same time you need to understand the networking fundamentals also, because networking, what I can say, it is your heart of your servers. So without this networking, you cannot manage many servers, many hosts to deploy anything into it. Because if any mess up happen in your networking side, everything will be lost. So networking is the core part of DevOps and Kubernetes, and Linux is the integral to setting up and managing networks, like configuring the IP addresses and routes, managing the firewalls, and also debugging the DNS issues and connectivity problems. Okay, an example like in Kubernetes, if a pod is not able to communicate to the another service, what you can do, you can log into the pod and you can do a ping command and curl command, netstat command, how that, whether the pod is really communicating to the other pod, whether the stats are populating. So these are all requires networking knowledge. Okay, so right now we have covered command line proficiency, networking, and now we are going to check about the files and process management. What is this? Okay, as a DevOps engineer, managing files and processes on Linux is a daily task. Okay, trust my words. Because checking the disk space, like running a df command, du command, and killing the process which is not required for you, which is causing more memory, it will eating more memory space, right? So that process and all, we can kill it forcefully, and you can manage your application logs also. Okay, these and all like your day-to-day activity in Linux. So for examples, you are trying to coming to the live example, if you have an application logs and filing up with the disk, and you are using a Linux command to identify the large file, like running a du-sh command, and you will cleaning up the unnecessary logs. Okay, without this command, you cannot clear up, right? So your files are piling up, and due to you will get different types of issues, like due to lack of space and all. So that's why we need the file and process management also. So the next one is scripting or automation. On one side, I already said about in my previous video, yes, Python, we can make use of it. And at the same time, we have the shell in the side note. As we are already going into the DevOps world using this Linux platform, you using a shell scripting also, it's well and good. Okay, you can automate repetitive tasks of the deployments, backups, and monitoring using shell scripting. It's not a problem. Okay, let's say for example, if you need to update 100 servers with the new environment variables, writing a simple bash script that uses SSH to log into the server and update the variable can save hours compared to the manual updates, because your Kubernetes or your environment is already running in Linux host. To make use of the shell scripting is, it's not at all a problem. That gives you an um, very easy approach rather than running Python, downloading the Python binaries into this Linux host, running that one. Rather than that, you can use the shell as it is already running inside the host. Okay. So the next point is like about the Linux and the Kubernetes. So finally we came to that point. So as you know, we are running Kubernetes cluster in Linux based at their core, because understanding Linux will help you to work with the container runtimes like a Docker or Containerd, and you can debug your node level issues, and you can optimize the resource allocations like a CPU and memory. Why? Because you can question me like, why can't we run the Kubernetes in the different ways? Yes, we can, but maintenance, management of the Kubernetes cluster in a different ways, like a Windows or anywhere, no, that is little bit. Um, I cannot say it's costly. Its maintenance is very high, so that so many resources, even if you see in the live environment, people are using either in on cloud, or you can have your on-prem physical servers or VMs, virtual machines. So anyhow, those are also running under the Linux only. So my point here is, end of the day, Linux is playing a very crucial role in the Kubernetes part. So For example, if you ran a pod into your Kubernetes cluster, consistently it's being terminated due to out of memory error. So you have to run the Linux command to identify what happened. You can run some free commands, vmstat command to identify the memory usage, and you can resolve by allocating some more memory to your pod, right? So at the same time, if people are learning Kubernetes, people are learning Docker, but you need to have a solid understanding of what is happening around in the Linux networking side. So many things from the Linux side also will give you an boost up, and it will give you an understanding and confidence on what you are actually doing it. Okay, that's what the next point is, the security and permissions. So Linux is a very secure, but it requires configuration. So understanding the Linux permissions like a chmod, chown, and the security tools is a vital to protect your infrastructure. If you deploy an application, just imagine, but it fails to write to a directory. After checking the permissions, you understand like something stopping. You are running ls command and you realize that application user doesn't have a right permission. So a simple chmod and chown will fix this issue. Suppose if you have this type of issues in your Windows, that will take some time, and even you cannot identify that much easily by seeing that event logs in Windows. So I'm not denying that one, but the process what we are doing in Linux is it's very simple and very quick. You can find out what is the exact issue here it is. So to understand, to make it comfortable for you, but you have to follow these steps and all whatever I said from the beginning. Okay, and the last one is like cross the cross platform compatibility also very important. Like while Kubernetes and DevOps tools can run on Windows, as I said, so Linux remains the standard. Okay, so knowing the Linux ensures you are not limited by OS, making you versatile and efficient in the any environment. So my point here is like I just want to conclude this video by this. So if you are new to Linux, start by setting up a Linux virtual machine in your system. That is the first point takeaway from this video. And practice the basic commands like ls, cd, grep, and even you have so many commands available in the Google, or you can do it. And explore the real world scenarios like setting up a web server or managing the logs. So these are the main or basic steps if you want to step into a DevOps and Kubernetes journey. Okay, it will help you. Trust my words. If you learn Linux, okay, you can make it as a, it's not actually a prerequisite. Okay, don't think like people are telling like you need to have a Linux as a beginning. It's Linux is it's involved on the tools whichever you are using it in a day-to-day activity. Okay, either it is in the DevOps or it is in the Kubernetes. It's, if you imagine, if you know what tools you are using it till date, everything is running on the Linux only, because they will start three flavors, right? Even if you take Terraform, will have three flavors. Kubernetes have different flavors. Flavors in the sense you can install that one in the Linux, Mac OS, and Windows. Why they have separated like that? Why they have given preference to the Linux? So just think like that, okay? So if you have this type of questions in your mind, so you'll understand the main usage of the Linux and why it is very simple to manage. Okay, even you can troubleshoot issues very faster, and you can understand the tools that you are using in a deeper level, and you will get more confident in managing in servers and at the same time the applications. Okay. So by mastering Linux, you will unlock the full potential of the DevOps and Kubernetes and set yourself apart in the career journey. So that's it about this video. If you have any questions, please comment it, and please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video. Thank you.